Yalak, Emet, New Testament is Fake series. Find my lessons on Twitter, YouTube, Patreon. This is another lesson in the New Testament is Fake series for July 16, 2020. My lesson today is titled Defeating the New Testament with Ease. Very simple lesson. I will show a lie in the New Testament which will seriously discredit the book. I'll read from Isaiah chapter 26 and verse 13. O Lord our God, all the lords beside thee have had dominion over us, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. We know Israel corrupted their way, and sometimes they lost their way not by coming out with an all-out lie that had nothing to do with the Torah, but sometimes it was a blend of the Torah and the deception that they learned from the other nation. So in this case, it kind of seems like they were trying to merge the name of the Most High with like one of the Baal names, or worship the Lord with some procedure from one of the other religions, because they said, by thee only will we make mention of thy name, as if one should understand that whatever they were doing, they were mentioning or worshiping or calling on the name of the Lord by some other kind of information. But they're saying, no, we're going to do it pure now, and by thee only, by your teachings only, by your revelations only to us will we call on your name. So it won't be mixed or merged with the teachings and the names of the other gods. But at least they said, other lords have had dominion over us. So they were in bondage to other lords, or they were under siege, under threat. They were defeated and so on, and they were ruled over and so on. Now, if you read, like in the book of Judges and places in the book of Psalms and other places, you certainly see that Israel was defeated, they were under siege, they were ruled over by other kings that came against them. So the prophet seems to be saying something in the line upon line, precept upon precept, which agreed with the line and the line and the line that showed in the Torah, like I said in the book of Judges and other places, that they really were in bondage to other kings or other nations. Now let's run over to the New Testament and see what John chapter 8 verse 33 says. Well, in verse 32, he was telling them, you'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So when they heard about freedom, then verse 33 says, then answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? So they said, we were never in bondage to any man. I don't need to drag this out, because you know they were in bondage with a line upon line that showed the different records of the bondages that they had in the Old Testament when the other nations came up against them and conquered them and so on. And even after Isaiah, they went into Babylonian and Assyrian captivity. So they were in bondage to other men or to other nations and kings. But in the New Testament, the disciples said, we were never. Imagine, they're saying Jesus is God. Some of them teach that. But they say he's Elohim. But they're going to look at God in the flesh and lie to God and say we were never. So he's giving him their truth. You will be free when you understand my truth and utilize my truth and so on. And in the face of all that revelation he's giving them about the way to freedom, they're still going to lie and say, we don't need that. What do you mean free? We've never been in bondage. Even though the Romans were colonizing their land right then, in the time of Jesus, in the time and setting of this New Testament. But they said, we've never had such a problem. I used to tell you, ask your teacher about this, ask your pastor about this, and so on. Do I really need to say that? Because they don't care. They're just going to ignore you anyway and give you some really silly answers that don't make sense. It's more that you should ask yourself, why is the New Testament saying this? When it's clear from the Old Testament they were in bondage. Read the book of Judges. When they went into wars and captivities with the different kings ruling over them for years at a time. Ask yourself, is the New Testament agreeing with the Old Testament, with the line upon line, or is it giving a different line in the New Testament that does not agree with the Old Testament, making it a waste of time for these prophets to prophesy, and for the Most High to be sending the prophets, like he said, I rose up the prophets early in the morning, sending them day after day, but you would not listen, you would not return. Or better, just ask yourself, is the New Testament fake? I've already answered that question. It's the title of my series. The New Testament is fake.